Outrage this week after two Texas high school valedictorians announced they are undocumented immigrants. Maite Lara Ibarra graduated at the top of her class from an Austin high school and will attend the University of Texas on a free scholarship. After the ceremony, Lara tweeted out, quote, valedictorian, 4.5 GPA, full tuition paid for at UT, 13 cords, medals, nice legs. Oh, and I'm undocumented. Ibarra claims she has tried for years to become a U.S. citizen. This also happened at a school in McKinney. Larissa Martinez told classmates in her graduation speech that she is one of the 11 million undocumented citizens living in the U.S. The 18-year-old, who has been offered a full scholarship to Yale, said she decided against giving her classmates the traditional Hallmark version of the speech and instead opted for the truth. While both students have gotten support from people on social media, they have also received a lot of backlash, with some critics saying they took advantage of the system. This comes in an era where Donald Trump has vowed to build a wall to keep undocumented immigrants out. Many Latinos are rushing to seek citizenship to vote against him, while others are looking for other ways to raise their voices. So illegal immigration is our topic this half hour. We want to hear from you on our Fox 26 Facebook page and Twitter. Just use the hashtag Fox26forlife. Joining us live in the newsroom is our panel led by our senior legal analyst Chris Tritico, Democratic media consultant Mustafa Tamiz, and Republican strategist and public policy analyst Jackie Valley. So what do you make of the outrage?
Well, it's interesting that the knock has always been that they're here taking advantage and not doing anything and taking jobs. And here's some young people who have risen to the top of their classes and merely acknowledge that they're not here legally, brought here as young children, and acknowledge that they're not here legally, in the outrage, you know, and you can just see the moms. You ate dinner at my house. How dare you acknowledge that you're not here legally? I don't understand it, Jackie Valley. They acknowledge that they're undocumented, so we're all going to get mad at them now for acknowledging that they're here illegally, that their parents brought them here. Somebody posted on my Facebook page that nobody says they want to go back to their country of origin when they graduate from college. Well, maybe they consider themselves American now.
But they're not. They're illegal immigrants. That's what they are. They broke the law, or their parents broke the law when they brought them in here. It's ironic we're talking about this because after this show today, I'm giving the speech for the National Convention for Exchange. And they want me to talk about my journey as an immigrant and the fact that my parents did it legally and did it correctly without government subsidies. My dad worked 2 to 3 jobs at a time, 16-hour days. And those are the people that Americans want in the country. People who want to follow our laws, follow the government's laws, do right, work hard to achieve the American dream. And so we have laws in place for a reason. This young lady, her parents came here illegally. They broke laws. And I was thinking, if she would have broken another law, pick a law, would we be talking about her? Would we be talking about her in a positive way? Probably not. But the fact that we have so many people wanting to change the laws in immigration, it's still a law, and they still broke the law.
What about that? You know, the parents brought them here. Kids didn't do anything wrong. Went to high school, succeeded, obviously. Did better than I ever did in high school.
40% of Fortune 500 companies are founded by immigrants or their children. Over 10 million Americans are employed by those companies. Companies like Apple, Google, eBay were founded by immigrants. So it's not that we need walls, we need bridges, because with those bridges comes innovation, and smart people like these two young ladies have demonstrated. It has changed our economy. We're better off for it. And so immigration has been the backbone of this country. And so just these two young ladies epitomize what we need to do and why we need comprehensive immigration reform.
Isn't the backlash, though, that these young ladies are throwing the political debate into their graduation ceremonies? Isn't that really the backlash they're receiving?
Look, they are like all young people. They're talking about what's important to them. Imagine putting yourself in their shoes, graduating at the top of their class, right, and then going to Yale University. One of them has been offered to Yale University, and still feeling like you're not part of America. That just is kind of ludicrous. That's why we need immigration reform. Not more rhetoric, not more walls.
But immigration is the backbone of our country. I agree. Legal immigration. People like me. People who came here legally, who followed the rules. Not people who came illegally and broke the rules.
All right, we'll come back to that in just a minute. Let me go to Sally. She's monitoring our social media.
All right, it's been a popular topic on our Fox 26 Facebook page. Let's go to some of the comments there. here. Savannah writes, better to pay for an undocumented immigrant who wants to succeed and might actually graduate to live a better life than to pay for some snobby rich kid who might drink his way into a rape charge. So she's connecting those two big stories from this week. Danad Williams says, so what, how she got here and about her being proud. She's worked hard, earned her GPA and her full scholarship. Congrats to the valedictorian. And then Robert says, yes, illegal immigrants are physically capable of doing things that legal citizens can do. Yes, graduating at the top is outstanding, but no, living in the U.S. illegally is not okay, and she should be subject to the same consequences as anyone else who commits such a crime. So, of course, we've got a lot of different opinions on our Facebook page.
Well, and that's why we're talking about it, because it always, this topic always causes that, and Donald Trump has certainly kept it in the forefront. And I read a lot of comments about this week, because when these two young ladies did this, it kind of brought Donald Trump full circle, because this is not the message Donald Trump was suggesting.
Yeah, I mean, there is a notion that immigrants, legal, illegal, however you want to define it, somehow brought this country down. But if you look at our region, Houston, Texas, we have benefited from that immigration. If it wasn't for that, we would look like Detroit. After the 80s, when the oil busted, it was the people that came from other places that created energy in the city. And now we're not just the fourth largest city, but we're on our way of being the third largest city, replacing Chicago.
That's right. I came to this country in '76, and my dad was part of that movement, who came here legally. He lived in a trailer with 12 other guys, saved money for me and my mother, sent for us legally, and he worked his way to achieve the American dream. The legal people who come here legally and follow the rules want to achieve the American dream. They want to do the right thing. I have a problem. We have laws in place. Why are we having these laws in place if people are just breaking them and there's no consequence to that?
Let me ask this, because we're almost out of time. The difference is, when my family came here at the turn of the last century, and when your family came here, there weren't preferences in place that kept people from Central and Mexico and Central and South America out of the country. There's strict limits that allows only a very few of these people in, that don't keep Europeans out, and that's why we have the immigration issues coming from South. But isn't that the issue?
No, because that doesn't take away from the fact that people like my parents struggled for many, many years, saved money for many, many years, followed. It took them a long time to come to America. That doesn't take away from the fact, just because I'm from the Caribbean and I'm not from South America, that they did not struggle and do the right thing and worked hard to achieve their American dream.
20 seconds. Isn't that really a part of the issue?
It's a big issue, and the people that come here and live in our community work harder than anybody else, and no one needs to account for that, and no one accounts for that. So they bring a great deal to our community. We need to find a way to pass a comprehensive immigration reform.
All right, we're going to have to leave it right there. And the real issue here, Sally, is that Congress for 15 years has not done anything about immigration reform. We talk about it. We talk about it every year. We refuse to pass any significant immigration reform. We'll see what happens after the next election.
We will see. All right. Thank you guys so much. We'll see you again for one last topic in our next half hour.